welcome, guys. Welcome to another episode. This is a raw, stripped-back interview, and I am catching up again with Clair Stokes. Now, the reason why I'm catching up with Clair is because I think her story is truly inspirational. Obviously, Clair and me have been working together for 10 months now, and we always said on that first interview that we was going to do an interview further down the line just to find out where she is now. Now, thank you, like I said, for watching this podcast, watching this YouTube channel. If you're an avid listener, then thank you. And if this is the first time you are tuning in, I do recommend you go back to the beginning because there's some real valuable insights on how you can scale up your business and take your business to that next level like Clair has done. So welcome, Clair.
Thanks.
Yay. So what I'm going to do, because I know everything about Clair, okay? However, I'm going to let Clair do her intro and let everyone know who's watching, who you are, if they've never met you, and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Clair. I am 46. I've had my own clinic for 14, nearly 15 years. And it's evolved from like a beauty salon through to permanent makeup, aesthetics. Lost my way a little bit during the COVID lockdowns, lost a bit of confidence like lots of people, put lots of weight on, ate my emotions, wasn't very proactive, felt quite demotivated really by seeing some people really creating some amazing stuff out of it, and I just didn't have that in me. And I came out of that and plodded along, and I had so many ideas that I just couldn't really see to fruition because I didn't have time. I was exhausted trying to make my clinic make money, and it wasn't making money. I was scraping by on my backside every month, worrying about the following month. And I just thought, did I really want to continue like this? And the answer was no. And the only way that you change things is to change things. So I did. But it was really hard.
It's not easy. Change is not easy.
No, and I think part of me's really fought against it at times. But yeah, now I look back over the last nearly a year from where I've come from, both personally and professionally, I think I've come a really long way. And I've come a really long way in my confidence and everything. I just wouldn't have put myself out there. I wouldn't have been sat live talking to anyone.
I know, and I think this for me is the biggest thing, because I think we are unfortunately in a generation where we've constantly got comparisons out there, okay? And even the strongest, most confident, I'm quite a confident person, but even me, when I see these other people smashing it online, these other coach, I don't tend to watch what a lot of people do, but you still have even people's lifestyles, and then you see what car they drive, what house they have, and everything around you is comparing, and it makes you start thinking, shit, why am I not there? I should be there at that age. I should have accomplished that. But we all know it's smoke and mirrors. We all know it's not true. People don't share the real versions of themselves. But I think that if you are slightly, if you've got that little bit of a limiting belief about your confidence, that will stop you progressing in anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really does, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is what I find really amazing from when we first connected. The many things you said, but one of them, big one, was I'm not recording myself. Don't want to get on camera. I'm shit scared of camera, going live. And the other day, I saw you on a video. You had makeup on, but you wasn't fully made up, and you had a hoodie on.
Yeah, I did.
You had a hoodie on, and that was not Clair. Like Clair would be like, "Oh God, I'm going live on Friday. So right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the hair
done, got to have my makeup on."
Exactly. And now you're like, you know what? I have to do this video. If I don't do this video, I don't create my content. I don't get clients. I don't get my long-term goal. And your mindset has completely shifted. And I think that's what's really important. So anyone that's listening to this now, if they're in this stage of a little bit of kind of like disbelief, limiting beliefs, they're like, I want to do better, but I just haven't got the confidence. I haven't got the motivation. I've just got so much self-doubt. What would you say to them people? Because I'm sure you can relate to that.
Baby steps. Do a little bit of something every day that pushes you a bit further out of your comfort level. and before you know it, you'll have achieved stuff that you'd never have believed possible. But I think, try not to be too ambitious to begin with. Just take it step by step, tick off your list, and eventually, oh, actually, I've come really quite far now. Because I avoided being videoed or videoing myself for months.
Yeah,
nice. You did. Yeah. And even when I did finally do it, I'd spend hours going, oh no, I can't post that one. I said that and that was stupid. And why does anyone want to listen to me? And just, constantly pull it apart. Whereas now I don't. I just do it and I don't even look what I've said.
Yeah, but they come across so much more relaxed now because your mindset shifted. Like when I remember when you sent me that first video, which was going to be your intro to your new course, which we'll talk about in a mo. And I knew how hard that was for you. And I watched the video. I'm like, right, okay.
That was like take 96 as well.
I'm like, do I be honest and tell them what's wrong with it?
No, I needed it. I needed to hear it.
Well, I give you that kind of like that sandwich type thing. I give you a bit of good, and then I'm like, right, Claire, I need to change this and this.
Come on, it's terrible.
And you responded back and said, actually, I can see that.
Yeah.
And then, so I just validated what you was thinking anyway.
Yeah.
And then you then recreated it. But then now, because you're more relaxed, it's easy for you. And this is the thing, guys, like confidence is not a thing. People think that you are, oh, she's confident. It's not something you're born with. You don't come out and you're born with confidence. Confidence comes with consistency.
Yeah.
That's it, bottom line. So if you're not confident in going on camera, the only way you're going to get confident in camera is by doing baby steps, becoming consistent, seeing that something's happening as a positive, which is then just going to validate that, oh, actually, I am knowledgeable. People are relating to me. I am touching, building that tribe of clients. And then you then start to build the confidence. And when people say, I'm just not confident, it kind of is bullshit because everyone always says to me, oh, you're really confident. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't just get confident like that. I did things to make consistently to then improve it, to then make me feel better. And then before you know it, you're on this upward cycle of starting to become a confident person in life.
I just pretend I'm talking to one person as well. I just pretend I'm talking to one person, having a conversation. The worst thing for me is to think, oh, lots of people are going to see this.
Yeah.
Makes me really nervous. So I just think, right, I just imagine I'm talking to you or to my husband and I'm just having a little chat, telling you what's going on. And it just helps so much.
Yeah, I always think as well, you've got to make it. I said this to you as well in one of our one-to-ones. You can't be selfish. Okay. No. So if you're about to go live and you're about to discuss a certain topic or record some content for a masterclass, you clearly have got a lot of knowledge, a lot of value that you want to share. So if you're pulling back and you're not doing it, you're actually being selfish. Yes. Because you need to now start thinking, right, okay, these newly qualified permanent makeup technicians or this client really needs to hear that microblading a sack of shit and you shouldn't have it. And they have to hear the knowledge that you've got. So if you actually flip it around and think, right, no, they need to hear my knowledge and my value and what I'm recommending. It's not about me on camera. It's about me telling them and educating them on how to pick the right technician, how to do brow mapping like we've been discussing. It's about sharing your knowledge. So I think when you switch it around and think about that one person that sat there hating their eyebrows or they're doing permanent makeup and they just can't physically get that brow mapping right and they're literally stressing, they're ready to sack it all off and go and work in Tesco, you're talking to that person. And I think when you do that, it completely changes the whole concept of it, doesn't it?
It does. Totally.
Yeah. So let's talk about business because I can see people finally throwing comments in now, and a lot of these people that are throwing comments are new to the group. So they probably didn't know or have heard your first interview. So if we go back, I think was it January or February
January.
First met to January. So Claire was kind of watching and stalking me for a while.
Just a few years.
But like thinking what the fuck's she on about or whatever it may be. Like when I started talking about subscriptions, you were like, ugh. But then after a while she's like, okay, you was in that rut, you were stuck, you didn't know what to do. We connected, and using the first interview as a case of robbing Peter to pay Paul, because you didn't have that spare cash. If you did, you probably wouldn't need the coaching. And you actually then invested. So in the early stages, in that first 3 months, when I remember now, it was a real big change and shift in terms of getting, obviously you got a lot of clients on subscription. You kind of made your business more, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent.
Yeah, consistency, definitely.
Yeah. So we brought in the early stage, we brought in that consistency, we brought in structure, and we started then to start working on the clarity and the goals from there. But this is the important thing. Like when you're trying to like work on your business, take it to the next level, you've got to make sure what you've already got is like bulletproof. Yeah. So then you can then work on the other things. Yeah. So what did that do in the early stages to completely kind of like streamline the business and get these subscriptions in? And what did that do for your business?
Just you helping me get things automated was a big deal in the first place, because I wasn't overly up with tech. Yeah. And then using, implementing the subscriptions, I now pay my clinic rent and my salary, which I doubled, every month just on subscriptions without anything else.
See, I just love that. Like, this is what I say.
My two main things are covered every month.
Yeah. And this is what I say to people, reverse engineer it. Like, if you can get your bills, your living cost, your salary, your rent, everything paid for with your subscriptions, then everything else is just cream. It's just profit. It's just, and then you then can... And then that mindset of chasing the quick wins goes, and then you start thinking, right, who am I? What do I want? What is my passion? And you're not thinking, shit, I've got to get that eyebrow in for next week or that skin treatment. You can just relax.
And I've tweaked them recently as well. So I'm just going to do a new promotion for the subscriptions. The people that are on them, they've stayed on them, haven't had anyone cancel. I'm hoping to get some new people with new tweaks. So I've got skincare has been something that I've really done quite a bit with my subscriptions. So I'm going to have a skincare product only subscription, which I haven't done before.
Okay.
And then I've got acne package, I've got a rosacea package, I've got a pigmentation package, and I've got an anti-aging package. Brilliant. And they're all they all have treatments in that, and skincare, and there are a couple of different levels depending on the results they want. I'll never say it's result on cost, because if they want the results, that shouldn't matter.
Yes, so exactly. Well, this is the thing as well. When you've got somebody coming regular for something, if they've expressed to you their pain points of whatever it may be, the skin, acne, or whatever, and you're like, you know what, I can work with you. We have to be consistent. Yeah. It's like going to the gym. You can't eat crap at home and then go to the gym and expect to be skinny. Yeah. If you want these results, we have got to include this in part of a package. And then what happens is 4 months down the line, they see results.
Yes.
Whereas if they just rang you every time they need an acne facial or a chemical peel or whatever, they then get to that next month thinking, I could really do with a facial, but I've been invited out. I might. And then they miss it and they never come back and they say it never worked.
Yeah.
So you've actually given people the results. And this is where subscriptions work really well for skin. They're a little bit harder for permanent makeup. No, they're not harder. They're not as scalable for permanent makeup. The way people can make them scalable is by having the add-ons like your brow lamination or HD brows. And, so there is options with that. But, the people that I coach, that's the first thing I say, reverse engineer your subscription. Yeah. Find out your expenses, which... Claire, you'll be so surprised on how many people don't know what they have to earn each month.
Which does amaze me, actually.
Like, seriously, you should know, everyone should know what's my break even.
I even know down to like $2.99 for a Google space.
I love it. Yeah. But people don't know.
Yeah.
I've had meetings. I'm like, okay, so what's your break even then? What do you need to earn? Well, I don't fucking know. And I'm like, you need to know. You need to have this, because how do you know whether it's a good week or a bad week? What's your benchmark figure? And this is the thing, if you don't know your break even, how do you know whether you're doing good or bad?
And it's the same with pricing. How do they know how to price anything?
Well, they just copy off someone down the road and go a little bit cheaper.
And then you get
this is the problem.
Cheap wall.
Exactly.
Like, well, she does them for £99, so I'm going to do it for £79.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You've got to earn money.
Yeah. And, I don't want you to, obviously, I'm not saying this in a bad way at all, but your prices aren't the cheapest. You get quality facials. Your skin subscriptions are a lot more expensive than mine.
Yeah.
So you're not doing this by pricing yourself low. You're doing this by offering that much value and knowledge and that support to your clients that they don't mind paying that price point that you've got. And this is the thing, it's that connection that you're giving, that the value. So obviously that was kind of our early stages. So within our first 3 months, which you said you doubled your salary within that period as well. Within about 12 weeks, you doubled your salary. And then from then it was about, right, who is Claire? What is Claire all about? Like, I know what she's all about, and I've obviously watched you on social media for many, many years, but you also was very much afraid of putting yourself out there because you was in that comparison mode with everybody else.
Completely. Yeah, totally. I was just scared, really, of doing it for myself. I was happy to work training and teaching for somebody else's company, but I just was scared to do it for myself, and I can't really explain why, really.
Yeah. But I think sometimes we seek perfection all the time. We are, especially this industry
of mine. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, and like one of the quotes that I've always told you, and I think you've always said this to yourself, is get it done first and get perfect later.
Yeah.
Because I I still look at some of my old videos and I'm like, oh, it's horrible. I hate it. I hate how I used to talk on camera and how I used to try and just be somebody I'm not, but that's what's made me grow.
Yeah, definitely.
If I would have waited till I was perfect, I would never have started.
Yeah.
So get things done and get perfect by the failures or the drawbacks or whatever it may be throughout the process. So obviously we've now gone into you've gone into master classes, education side, which was always something that was there in the back of your mind, but you never really felt confident enough to do it. Or know how to do it. So tell us about tell us about, so obviously the business now is running that smoothly. It's more profitable, and now you're working less hours, right? So I want to kind of like clarify to people, Claire's increased her wages by streamlining, automating, saving time.
Yeah.
But she works less hours hands-on, earning more money. So now she can focus on the true passions, scaling up and creating more of a passive income, which is what we're in this process. These latter 6 months have been working on that. So tell everybody what you're working on now, what we've been working on these last few months.
So I've begun writing some online masterclasses for permanent makeup artists because there were huge gaps, I think, in education generally. And I think it's come a long way in the last couple of years. But there's a lot of misinformation out there. I still have people telling me that they can top up after 4 weeks, which horrifies me. The skin's not ready. So I wanted people to understand why the skin's not ready. So my big passion is skin. It's where I've come from. I've had 28 years in the beauty industry now, and I feel that as permanent makeup artists, often we're trained in the skill, like applying beautiful eyeliner, creating stunning brows with beautiful pixels, but we're not understanding the canvas that we're working on. So this is something that's being launched in the new year, and it's specifically about skin. It's about 20 modules and counting.
It's a beast, Claire.
It's a geek out, but it really is about everything you could possibly need to know about the skin as a permanent makeup artist.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is as well is obviously that is your big goal, okay? Yeah. But what we've been creating the process, because a lot of people will say, well, that's a hell of a lot of work that Claire's putting in creating all these courses. Yes. And it is. And what if you launch it, it doesn't work? So in this time period, what we're doing is we are getting you seen. Like the amount of people, I will tell you, Claire, the amount of people that I've had these discovery calls with recently since being in the PMU circle, everybody has said, oh my goodness, where's Claire come from?
I've been around a long time.
I know, but you've been fucking hiding. That's what I'm saying. Like, you've arrived. And so what we're working on now together, this is all kind of like direction of what you want to do, is we've created, you've created Brow Mapping Magic, which is like a free downloadable PDF, which you've created. But what this is doing, this is actually letting people know who you are, that you know your stuff, that you're knowledgeable, that you're well educated, you've got a lot of value to share. Now, this is a free PDF that you've put out there. However, on the back of that, we've created all these systems in place, these funnels, this automation, this email journey for upselling and then selling advanced brow mapping. And then doing the database to then sell your course in the new year. So it's not just about, like, I always think, I don't like it if people would just spend weeks and months and years developing a course in the background and then launch it and nothing happen. Like, I actually know people that have launched a course without even having content. And I've told you this before, they've put out, so for instance, I could tomorrow, I know I've already got a course on this, but on Black Friday, I could think, you know what, I'm going to launch a subscription course. A 4-lesson subscription course, how to create a subscription in your business. I could start on Black Friday for 200 quid and I could put it on there. If no one buys it, I don't have to create it. But if people buy it, I wake up early, record the content and sell it. I know that's a crazy way of doing it, but this is why you've been creating the brow mapping, the upselling and everything else, because we're trying to nurture your audience, let people know she's arrived. Even though you've always been here, you've just been hiding under a fucking rug or something.
Everyone else's bushel, not mine.
You what, sorry?
I'm hiding under everybody else's bushel.
But how do you feel? Let's just ask, how do you feel in terms of your work and what you're sharing compared to what you felt a year ago?
Oh, it doesn't even compare. It doesn't even compare. Very confident in what I'm sharing now. There's a lot of knowledge in this head that needs to be shared. It is valuable. So
it's amazing to hear that, because you've not, in terms of training in your skill, you've not trained in anything else in a year.
No.
All you've done is challenge these limiting beliefs. Been consistent to build up your confidence. Start creating content and start getting out there. So
and I've learned so much as well.
You what, sorry?
I've learned so much. I've got that many new skills now.
I know. So how do you feel overall that the coaching, me and you working together, how do you feel overall? Bloody hell, my mum's ringing me. Mum, I'm on a podcast. Bloody hell. It's always mother, isn't it?
It is, yes.
It rings on my phone. I don't know how to turn it off.
No.
So, okay. So in terms of the coaching, what has that done for you on all levels, not just business, but on all levels?
It's made me focus on what I actually want and also why I want it. What is the purpose behind all of this? It's all very well having a dream, but if there isn't a clear reason why you're doing it, then you kind of just lose your way. So I think that right from the very beginning, I think you said, look, you need to know what your whys are and focus on them. And that's really, really helped, actually. That was a big thing, because I've always had lots of dreams and ideas. I really am an ideas person. I'm just not very good at actually seeing them through.
I know.
I'm lost along the way, and I get a new, shiny, exciting idea, and I go off in that direction instead. I'm a little bit like a magpie with shiny ideas. Like, off I go. It gets half done. There's lots of half completed things. But now I'm starting to actually complete things.
Oh my goodness. And it's like a year. Like, if you actually think about what you've done within We're not even at a year yet. We're not even at the end of the year. So 2023, you've created an online course. We've created funnels. You've just created. It's just amazing.
Just laid all the foundations ready for the next steps as well, which is really exciting.
Yeah, definitely. And this is the thing as well. Like a lot of people that are watching this, and the people that have been having these discovery calls with this week, are kind of saying, "Well, I don't know what I want to do, or I don't know my why, and everything else." And the thing is, it doesn't have to be business related. And a lot of people think that they have to know exactly what they want to do. So if somebody was to ask me 3 years ago, what do you want to do? What is your reason? I wouldn't turn around and say, I want to coach people online. I want to earn £500,000 a year. That's not my reason. Okay. My reason is I want to be able to be more timeless and spaceless.
Yeah.
I want to be able to work from anywhere from a computer.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm going to Krakow in a few weeks, just before Christmas, and I've got meetings in. Now, I can't really go away at that time, but I've got my computer. I can work while I'm away. I want the timeless and spaceless aspect, but I also want to be able to give my children quality time with me, work when they're at school, reduce my work when they're not at school, and I want that quality time. I don't want the weekends. I don't want the evenings. I don't want the clinic. I don't want the overheads. So when people say, I don't know what I want, you have to kind of like bring it back to you as a person and not necessarily, you know, like one of your big reasons was your husband's retirement.
Yeah, I was going to say that. My husband's just turned 60. We've had lots of celebrations this year. I'm 46, so there's quite an age gap. Our daughter is 15.
Yeah.
And I've seen people that work in the same industry as my husband it's a very physical job. They get really run down by it. And actually, by the time they actually retire, they're knackered. And
they've got no left in them.
So I really need to up my game and be able to replace his salary.
Yeah.
That's the idea, that I have what I'm already earning and replace his salary. And then anything above that's a bonus. And
How far are you from that?
I'm certainly making big progress towards that now. I think 2024 will really start turning.
And this is the thing. Like I said, that the people that I work with that nail their coaching really well and come out the other end doing so well are people that have got the goals that are more than a personal level. So your goal was, I want my husband to have a better life when he gets to 60 and to replace his retirement. So you are turning everything that you currently do into that's your why. I had a friend of mine that I coached. She doesn't coach me anymore, but she's completely smashed it in the face painting industry.
Yeah.
The face painter. And her goal was she wants to take her kids to Disneyland. That was it. It wasn't about face painting. It wasn't about how many clients or how many events she was smashing. She wanted to be able to have more weekends off. And as a face painter, that's quite hard. But to be able to, within 12 months, take her kids on the best Disneyland experience ever. I'm like, right, how much is it going to cost? How much you need to earn? Let's break it down. And we did it. We achieved it. So, you know, you don't need to know, you know, because I've had a few meetings with people where they said, well, I want 3 clients a week. I want 3 full paying brand new clients a week. So I want to earn, if they're charging 400 quid for what's that, 1,200. I want 1,200 a week. I want just short of $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
That to me is not a good goal.
Yeah.
Because why? Why do you want $5,000 a month? What's the reason behind it?
There's got to be a reason. You're just picking any figure, aren't you?
Exactly. So you've got to bring it all back to your personal life and what you want and your vision and your goal. And the thing is, because that's never going to change. If it's about your family and if it's about your freedom and your financial freedom, that's never going to change. And I know we are all in our jobs for money.
Yeah.
But we're also in it for the passion and that balance as well, the work-life balance. And it's so surprising, especially now, the amount of people that are just completely in that rat race of like the working more hours, evenings, weekends. What's your work-life balance now like?
I do a 3-day week. Long days, but I do 3-day week. Barely ever work Saturdays now, which was quite a turning point in my life, not to have to work Saturdays.
Wow. So did that happen this year then?
That happened this year, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. I do less than one Saturday a month now.
Yeah.
Just find that people will come in, you just direct people in a different direction and they'll come in an evening if you don't want them to do Saturdays. So it's all about creating choices for me, really. I mean, I want Ian to be able to choose to retire, not have to wait until he's literally on his last legs because he's got no choice.
Yeah.
Because it's all about money and paying bills. I want it. Yeah. Just, it is all about choice, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course it is. That's amazing. So you now are working less hours.
Yes.
You've got more family time.
Yeah, more family time. I have my granddaughter on a Tuesday now.
Oh, that's amazing.
Lovely. I'd like to say it's my step granddaughter. I'm not quite that old.
Yeah. And then increase your earnings as well. So when we touch base, like, I don't actually know this yet, but when we touch base on our last interview that we did, you doubled your salary.
Yeah.
Where are you now?
It's definitely crept up a bit more. Banging on the door of the VAT man.
No, it's like, fuck off, we're not ready for you.
Yeah, banging on the door of the VAT man. But
I have to talk about separating your businesses then.
When I
unlimited.
When I came back from COVID, I think the first year back I took something like 36,000.
Okay.
And I'm well on my way to banging on the door of the VAT man this year. That's quite a jump.
That's incredible. And what's incredible is you're not putting in more hours.
No, I'm not working harder. I'm definitely working smarter.
Exactly. So what would you say for people that, because I've had a lot, I think there was a chat going in the group as well about, I wish I had the money to invest in this. And the thing is, for me, like I told you, when I got my coach, it was in lockdown, and I was on the verge of separating from my husband, getting a divorce. So I've got my husband earning his 50 grand a year. My wages are like this because of permanent makeup and not having any kind of like streamlined stuff in place. I started with subscriptions, but it wasn't kind of like in full fruition. And COVID hit. So my husband's wages, obviously he was getting wages. I can't earn. Then I got divorced. And I moved out. So I went from having a 50 grand, then mine, to then, oh, fuck, we've got nothing. And at that point, I spent £8,000 on getting coaching. And I used my house money. I used my house money. And it was like, this has to work. Like, it has to work, because
mine wasn't quite as dramatic as yours, but I definitely didn't have your fee.
No,
just hanging around. It wasn't. So I took a bit. I'd had a good December. December, and actually, I usually have quite a good January. And it will be next year as well, by the looks of things. So I paid my deposit, didn't I? Like my first, and I actually did take that out of my current account. Then I had a little bit of about it, just in case. What happens if everyone cancels next week and the money's gone?
I've done this now, but now no one's going to come in.
It's helped me. So I then put the next 2 payments on a credit card, which I hate doing. I'm not a credit card person. I'm not someone who does lots of borrowing. It doesn't sit comfortable with me. But I had paid that back by June without really thinking about it.
Yeah, brilliant.
Within 5 months,
you'd paid that back.
I paid it off. Yeah.
And this is the thing, like, there has to be, when you are wanting to make significant change in something, there has to be a risk. Because if there's not, if I turned around to you and says, right, Claire, I can coach for 200 quid. I'll give you everything that I've give you. Give me 200 quid. You wouldn't show up for 200 quid.
No, because there's no value in it.
There's no value in it. You'd be like, oh, I can miss that meeting this week. But because literally, the figure, I don't mind sharing my figure. All these people will know my full coaching is, 3,000,
Yeah.
just depending. You know, because it's significant.
Yes.
It's got that connection of this has to work. This has to work. So then you put in everything. If it was just like a few quid here and there, you don't commit.
No, it's right. You don't.
And the thing is, like, I've got, believe it or not, there's a guy called Rob Moore. I don't know if you've ever met Rob Moore. He's got a podcast. He's called The Destructive Entrepreneur. So he's a multi-millionaire, very wealthy man. Started in property, but in business. Now he has a business coaching support group, like what I have, my online platform, which is £25 a month. He charges £6 a month. Yeah. I signed up for that a year ago. Ask me how many times I've gone on and checked out his free lessons.
About once.
Never.
Never.
I've not even fucking gone on, Claire. I've not gone on.
Yeah.
Because it's £6.
Yeah.
I have genuinely not even gone on. It's there in my tab up there. I can see it.
You and your open tabs.
I've checked that my email works. And I even emailed the other day. I'm like, okay, let me just go online and just check his course out. So I'm like, I've lost my password details. Can you send them me? So she did. And I still didn't take action.
Yeah.
It's £6. It's not affecting me.
Yeah.
And this is the difference. This is what people need to understand. If you really want big changes and you want something that's going to make an impact in your life and business, you have to put in something that has that bit of a fear connected with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Show up and take action.
Yeah. I needed that fear because I needed it to push me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't a monetary risk, I just wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it. Definitely not. You're absolutely right on that. Yeah,
I agree. And this is what I've been obviously talking to people this week. I've had that many discovery calls booked, and it's hard because there is some people that are really struggling. So I'm trying to give as much free value as I can, and obviously helping them with these podcasts and YouTube channels. But it's kind of like there's got to be that fair exchange as well. Like I will give a bit of free advice, but I can't give everything because I need to be here for you. So, but there has to be that element of risk, because if there's not an element of risk, you're not going to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I love though? What I love about you, even being on camera now, how fucking chilled out you are. Like even when we did our first interview, like our live interview. So, hello, my name is Clair. And you're just like, just drop me the link whenever. I'm just doing a bit of work online. I'll hop on. Yeah. It's like no big deal. Whereas I bet the warm up to the last live that we did, me and you were probably stressing for a week before.
Oh, I was dreading it. And about 9 or 10 different excuses went through my mind as to why I could get out of it.
I can cancel. How can I cancel?
And I think it's only because I felt like I'd got so much value from you. I felt I owed you it for me to turn up.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and that's how I felt though, and that was good because it made me do it. It made me show up.
Yeah,
because I didn't want to let you down.
Yeah, you can't let me down.
Let me down. Do you know what I mean? It was like, I've got to do.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. So anyone that is watching this, obviously this is my little bit of a plug because that this is, So in terms of what you have spent with me, with the coaching, has it been worth it?
Oh, undoubtedly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I hadn't done what I did with you when we did it, I would now be going into 2024 thinking, well, actually, I wouldn't have re-signed my lease in May.
Wow.
And I think I don't know. I don't know what direction I'd have gone in. I might have, rented a room.
Wow. So you think that you saved the business then as well?
Yeah. I just think I might have got to the point where I was just thinking, just run away and hide.
But this is the thing. You hear this so much. People in this industry that get to this stage, like, you know what? I'm just going to sack it off and be a.
It was all too much hard work. I was knackered. All my motivation had gone. All my excitement had gone. Yeah, I just needed a bit of a magic.
Have you got your passion back? Have you got that passion?
I get up in the morning like ready to go. even if I've got a headache, like today. Like, yeah, come on, got these.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that.
But yeah, it's definitely been worth just every single penny from a personal and professional point of view.
Brilliant.
And we're still working together, aren't we? You can't get rid of me now.
Yeah, you can't get rid of me now. We're in it. We're in it for life now. Yeah, we're both going up there together, Claire.
Yes,
working.
We retire on the same day.
Exactly. Yes. So, any advice for anyone that's watching this now that are like, or any, just any advice, people that are maybe at the stage of that overwhelmed stage, the lack of confidence, that comparison, just in your head. What do I do? I'm struggling. Any advice?
I think the best thing you did for me was to help me get focus. I think your tools to narrow down what it is you want and how you're going to get there, and then just seeing you fortnightly to break it down into manageable bits.
Yeah,
was really, really important, because I mean, some of it I could have done myself, but there's no one but me. So I can easily make an excuse for not doing that this week because I need to do something else. Whereas when you're there, I have to do it because you need me to do it.
Yeah,
because I'm going to do the next bit, and it's like it's a knock on.
Yeah, of course it is. Because if we meet,
if I haven't done something, then the next 2 weeks, then that's something else behind. So it makes me keep up to date with where we are and keep going. Yeah.
I think that accountability is so powerful, because as entrepreneurs, we are lonely.
Yes.
We don't have a boss saying, arrive at this time, do this job, that needs to be done by the end of the day. We don't have that. So we can end up actively procrastinating. So we pretend.
I love a list.
You what, sorry?
I love a list.
Yeah. But we'll just I'll just do this and I'll do that. And then I'll add more to my list so I can put a tick next to it.
I used to do that.
I know. I think everyone does.
No, I genuinely did used to do that.
It's crazy, because we'll just avoid that big task and we're like, oh yeah, but I did this and this and this, and we just write down things like fed children and done washing, things that we should do anyway. Oh dear. So if anyone's on the fence right now about coaching, about having a coach and spending that money to take their business to the next level, what would you say for them? Because you are now, obviously you've done the coaching, but then now we have regular sessions.
Yeah.
You are now almost a year along. So what would your advice be to these people that are maybe just starting? There's a couple here that have just signed up with me. I would just starting them on the fence. Just
do it, because you won't look back. I mean, I've been in the business for 14 years on my own, and I'd weathered, a recession when I first opened, and I weathered COVID, but I hadn't truly thrived. And that's the difference. Yes, I survived it. And yes, I got myself so far, but it's a difference between surviving and thriving. Which do you want?
So what are you doing now?
Thriving.
You're fucking badass. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's like I do feel like a proud mummy. I do, because you're doing so well. Okay. And I just think
when you picked me up on the intro on Insta, I was like, oh, stop it, you make me blush.
But the thing is, it's because you work really hard.
Yeah.
Like, you work really hard. You are just, I've coached a lot of people, and people have done amazing. They really have. But I don't know. I think your work ethic, is really good. And I think what's really good is that you actually are better than you think you are.
Oh.
And you're starting to but you're starting to realise that now.
Yeah,
I am now. Realise that, you know what? I've got a lot of knowledge in this, Ed.
Yeah.
I am good at what I do.
Yeah, 28 years worth.
Exactly. Whereas before 28 years worth, 18 months ago, you'd still be overthinking and comparing, and she's better than me, and why would someone buy from me? Whereas now you're like, yeah, they'll buy from me because
I'm giving it all away for free on somebody else's forum.
Say that again.
And giving it all away for free on someone else's forum.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. This is the thing as well. This is where we've spoke about this, haven't we? Like, you can get to the stage where you get so excited and want to get your message out there.
Yeah.
And I had to pull back 6 months ago because I was people were taking too much.
Yeah.
And I was getting constant voice notes on people. from people that have had a free chat with me and not invested no money or no time.
Yeah.
And they're like, I want to do this. I want to do this. What are your recommendations? And I'm like,
yeah.
I remember I was going out with my fellow and I'm like, I've got to respond to this lady. And he's like, is that who you're coaching? Are you coaching? I'm like, oh, no. I'm trying to get her on board. He's like, well, stop then.
Yeah.
She's not paying you. And I'm like, I know. And so we have to remember, we have to have them boundaries.
Yes.
You know, it's now about building them boundaries. You know what? I will give free content. I'm here now giving this interview with you. That's going to be a YouTube channel, a podcast. This is free information to people, for me and for you. This is where the line gets drawn. Obviously, a few little voice notes back and forth. Then if you start, you know, like you've had people asking about the brow mapping, you know, you've been really amazing. Anyone that's watching this or listening that is struggling with permanent makeup brow mapping, Claire has got a downloadable PDF. Is it a 7-step?
10 steps.
10 steps. A 10-step PDF that is completely free. Okay. And you've launched that, you've released, you've had so many people sign up, and people now go into the advanced one and creating more, you know, the advanced steps. But you'll get people that'll start asking you more questions. Say, oh, what about this? What about this? And you want to share.
Because you want to help.
Yeah, but that's the point when you say, you know what, I'm so glad you're so enthusiastic about the next step. Here's my advanced brow mapping. Now pay me some pennies.
Yeah.
And it's about respecting your boundaries now.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you'll just be like, oh, have you my knowledge? And it's like, no.
I spent hours in the past on messages, hours and hours, and voice messages, you know, and they're not often people that even say thank you, to be honest, either.
No, I know, it's surprising.
See, that you give the most to are often the most ungrateful.
Yeah. See, the thing is now, because obviously the tools that you've got in place and people firing all these questions, you can just easily say to them, you know what, you've got so many questions from, which is amazing. I'm so glad you want to improve as a technician. Here's a link for a video consultation. Book through this link. It'll be £150 for me to spend an hour with you online answering all your tips.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, your time is valuable now.
Yes.
So we need to respect that and know your boundaries.
Yeah.
So we've had a couple of questions through. Oh, Rachel's just said you are live. Go girls. Nina Parks. This is me, not confident about my work or what I know. Nina, I've seen your work. Do you know Nina Parks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says she's not confident about her work or what she knows.
Well, there's no need to be not confident because she's really good. So, yeah.
But this is the thing, if Nina, if you're still watching Nina, if you spend a lot of time on social media looking at all these really high filtered photos, looking at all these technicians.
Get rid of it all. I don't look at any. Get rid of it all.
Do you look at other people's work?
No, very rarely. There's a few people that I really, really admire.
Yeah.
I'll occasionally have a little look at. But no, I don't spend any time looking through anyone else's work now. It's irrelevant. What's relevant to my work.
Yeah.
And
I think you have to do that.
If I wanted to learn a new technique, I might do a bit of research on who I thought was good. But now I don't. Not anybody now. And because I spent the whole of lockdown, you know, trawling through other people's, you know, lives.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh, they're doing this and they're doing that. No, it's just not worth it.
See, this is what I did with
things you believe, or it's airbrushed or filtered, or they've got just really lucky on the skin that they're working on.
Oh yeah, God, there's some eyebrows I've done that've got that kind of skin. I'm like, there is no frigging way you're gracing my camera. You know, the skin's just awful.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, like the coaching that I do.
Yeah.
I have not copied nobody.
No.
Like, I don't know. I do know a couple of beauty coaches now, but I don't follow anybody. No. I'm not actually that bothered. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued on how they kind of package course and things. But I think if I start looking at the way that these people are doing coaching in the beauty sector, I'll then start swaying towards that way.
Yes.
And I don't want to. I want to do what I find is the problem. So that is same as people that are doing skin or permanent makeup. You need to find what you like and what you enjoy and what the pain points that you find are, and work with that. And if you then start getting influenced by others, you're going to then start seeing the shiny object syndrome, because you're going to see someone's amazing work that's airbrushed, and they'll say, oh, well, I trained with so-and-so. And then before you know it, £3,000 on training for them. And you just lose your track. You just stay very focused.
Yeah.
And it's not good for your algorithms either.
Anything for the brow mapping that I've made, the free PDF, it's my way. And that's it.
And it's amazing, guys that are watching or listening. It's amazing. It's fantastic, your PDF. Like, it shouldn't be free, but there's a reason why it's free. We've created a really good funnel in place to actually get contacts to then get you known. So there is a reason for this. What we've said here, that's what I do. I scroll through, look at so many people's work. It's not healthy. It really gets me down. Rachel, stop it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not good for you. It's not good for you at all in any way. And it's same with anything in life, you know, like I remember when I had changed the subject slightly, but when I had my eldest, all I was doing was comparing her development as a baby to everybody else. And then somebody would say, oh, she said her first word. And then at night time, we're like, Reagan, say mama, mama. Like, come on, say mama. She's saying mama. And it's bloody dangerous. Like,
it is. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely crazy.
What's Nina put? Thank you, ladies. Very true. Most of my followers are PMU artists and pop up on Instagram all the time. See, Nina, that is really bad for your algorithms as well. So if you're trying to build, a social media presence and you're following PMU artists, go through, get rid of everybody. It's not about quality, it's about quantity. So get the right followers. And if you start then connecting with your clients, then what's going to happen is Instagram are going to show you more people like your clients. Because PMU artists are not paying your bills, your clients are. So stop that. I need to stop this, Rachel put. I know I'm a dickhead. Sorry.
In a nice way.